Now, many of us have taken up a new exercise regime during lockdown. Some of us have slipped as well. But one man who's been more ambitious than most is Brendan Rendall, who has decided to run more than 1,000 miles to try and raise money for Chester Zoo. And if that wasn't hard enough, fancy dress, OK? Louise is outside and she can explain all. Good morning, Louise.
I mean, it's lovely to be out. There he is. There is Brendan. I'm going to call him over. Over you come, Brendan, who is running to basically get money to help save Chester Zoo. It is quite extraordinary what he's done. You keep going for a second, Brendan. I'm going to show everybody the costumes you've been running in. Various different costumes. So far, he's done many, many miles. And this morning, he's already done, I think, half a marathon. Brendan.
Hi, good morning.
Very good morning to you. First time I'm holding one of these booms, so you have to bear with me. Yeah, be careful. I don't want to scare you.
I know, I'm scared.
Tell me, so how many miles have you done today?
So I've just gone over half marathon now. So I changed costumes. I do about 3 or 4 miles in this one. I'm just getting used to it as I go into the marathon next week.
And this is quite an undertaking, isn't it, this many miles? Why?
So during lockdown, I was just sort of thinking I wanted to do another challenge. And then I saw the appeal for Chester Zoo and I just thought, do you know what, that's really inspired me. So I thought I'd run a half a marathon every day in June, a full marathon in July. I work with children with special educational needs. I've been doing that for 12 years. Been many times to Chester Zoo, they love it. I work at a school called Ladywood School. Our topics have been animals. So I just thought, let's do it for the kids, and we all need a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun, so that's kind of why I wanted to do it in costumes.
Oh my goodness, and you weren't always a runner, were you?
No, I started running at 27, so for about 10 years my life was a bit of a cycle of self-destructive behaviour. I struggled with weight, and then it was a bet to do a half marathon. I'd never ran before. 3 months in the dark in a hoodie, and I did my first half marathon in 1:24.
Which anybody who's tried to run a half marathon is very good.
So that was how I fell in with it, and then it just fell on to the marathon, and then these big challenges over the last few years, and here I am in the Rhino.
In a second, I'm just going to speak to someone from the zoo, but tell us, what are the, you know, first of all, the mileage is something, isn't it? But in the costumes, what kind of problems are you having?
It's really hot. I'm struggling with my feet. I've got 4 toes strapped up because I'm sweating so much, so chafing. I'm trying to go out early in the morning, around 4 or 5, to try and get a big chunk of it done. And then I do sort of smaller sessions depending on how hot it is. I might do an evening session, but the response is amazing. Trams are beeping, trucks are beeping. It's just an incredible feeling, so it's good.
Honestly, I take my hat off to you. And the bad news from your point of view is the weather's going to get really nice.
Yeah, I've heard.
Do you want to carry on your running now while I speak to our next guest?
Yeah.
On you go. It's absolutely brilliant. Good luck. Let's speak to Jamie Kristen. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, morning.
From Chief Operating Officer from Chester Zoo. Well, you've had a massive campaign about the zoo, haven't you? You're able to open now. What a relief that must be.
Yeah, it's an absolute huge relief for us. We opened just over a week ago. We've raised nearly £3 million from our Just Giving campaign, but we've got 1,200 active fundraisers like Brendan at the moment out there doing lots of weird and wonderful stuff for us. So, but we're not out of the woods yet. There's a long, long way to go. We lost £5 million over the first half of the year. We can only open on reduced capacity at the moment. So we need people like Brendan, he's such a star, to come and help us every day. We're a charity. 97% of our income comes from people coming through the gates, and they're slowly trickling back into the zoo now, and it's going to take us a while.
And what is it like at the zoo at the moment? It must be, as you say, a huge relief to have them back, but so much work to do. But what's the atmosphere like?
Atmosphere is great. People are loving coming back to the zoo to get outside and get some fresh air for well-being, to spend some time with their family, with kids. We've got lots of open green space available at the zoo at the present time. We're making sure that people are socially distancing. It's a really safe environment for people to be in. So our visitors are loving it, and our staff are loving it as well.
And Brendan is well on his way to his £10,000, which is absolutely fantastic. He also pointed out that I looked like a bit like a giraffe today, which I think is a compliment. Thank you very much, Brendan. Very good luck to you. And I'm going to make my way back to the studio, Dan, but it is lovely to actually see guests and be out and about in what is lovely sunshine.
Yes, with a rhino behind you. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful.
Say goodbye.
It's 8:40.